Before that, Yisu had already prepared for this. He is being trained by Sahu, so that his actions are similar to Dokkan, like the position of the knife. That kind of thing will definitely realize they are not an ordinary group. Yisu's enemy is the General Assembly. It's called a meeting of the biggest criminal gang in Seoul. The meeting was to prevent gang wars and form cooperation, but in reality it wasn't. Because they were waiting for an opportunity to benefit themselves, and Sahu warned Yisu to be careful. She himself wasn't sure why they had to protect the Taesan group. Because Yisu needs Taesan right now. He needs a gang for revenge, bigger and stronger than the others. He needed the Taesan and General Assembly to obey his orders. Somewhere unknown place. This person praises Gwang for doing a good job. That person was named Cho Wonho, Seoul Police Chief. Wonho admires Gwang for doing his dirty work for goodness. Because Gwang's still a lot of trouble, and he had to spend a lot to clean up Gwang's mess. But Wonho still thought that Gwang couldn't get rid of some important people. Wonho also scolded him because he couldn't destroy the group's Taesan. Suddenly he immediately took the badge from Wonho. Because he has to know who the boss is. He threw away the badge because he knew that now there were many people who could replace Wonho. The guard also looked angry about that. But Gwang managed to slam the guard. After that, he immediately kicked the guard hard. They were shocked by that. The gun was pointed at Wonho. He was also afraid because of the threat from Gwang. Currently, Gwang has done something dirty, because he has something bad to his own subordinate. It looked like Wonho was going to free someone, because he knew some people from General Assembly. And it seems like he also wants something from Wonho. Now he wants to meet Baek Dokyeon. They were shocked by Dokyeon's sudden appearance. Previously he knew that the number of members was not many. But they had formed a good relationship, and he already knew what to do. Yisu knew that he had to solve this problem like Dokyeon did. Cha Yunhwa almost didn't recognize Dokyeon, because he had gotten a haircut. Ryu also thinks Dokyeon is dead, because he almost never shows up at meetings. They will tell all the details that happened while Dokyeon was away. Han Haesung knew that Dokyeon's brother had died, maybe that was the cause. Even the funeral was crazy, there was a knife fight. And now they will clarify the details of all these meetings. The details are, is Dokyeon still worthy to sit at this table? Hearing that, he immediately regretted it, because when he was sad, no one helped or even visited him. Suddenly he stabbed a knife in the table. Dokyeon knows the purpose of this conversation, they intend to underestimate of Taesan. But Haesung doesn't think like that, and Dokyeon's actions have gone too far. He went straight to the point, and said the conditions for Taesan. The condition is that, from now on, the Taesan group will no longer attend General Assembly meeting. After attending the meeting, they returned. They will return to Taesan. Junwon also wants to know Yisu's plans, because General Assembly is Taesan's enemy. He thought about it a little. Suddenly a car came towards them. He was shocked about it. But fortunately they were safe from this incident. Cheyenne immediately scolded the driver. But their car was already surrounded by many cars. They got out of the car, and it turned out it's a Ryu. He seemed angry about it, because Dokyeon had been talking nonsense at the meeting. He immediately punched the car window. The glass broke as a result of that. They were both shocked by what that person did. He will also talk to Dokyeon. Ryu asks Dokyeon to bring Taesan to him now. Cheyenne is also worried about the boss's condition. Yisu realized that there were rats infiltrating the General Assembly, and he was finally lured out. Ryu also told Dokyeon to come out, but he didn't want. Ryu Taehyung is the person who has most problems with Taesan group, moreover, he is a very disgusting person. Yisu also suspects that Ryu is a rat at the General Assembly. Cheyenne scolded them for daring to damage the back door of their car. He interrupted, saying that it was none of his business. Finally Cheyenne got out of the car and criticized Ryu's words. He liked Cheyenne's courage in criticizing Ryu, and asked him to join the group. But something like that might not happen. Ryu suddenly threw a fist at Cheyenne. He was also hit hard in the face. Amazingly, he managed to block a blow from Ryu. He is increasingly challenged by this, because Dokyan's subordinates also have strengths. Suddenly a convoy of cars walked in that direction. Ryu seemed to know who these people were. He is Lee Sungman, he told Ryu to stop what he was doing. If those words came from Lee, then he would stop doing this. Ryu also said that this was a party for the General Assembly. He invited Lee to participate. Suddenly someone tapped Ryu's shoulder. It turns out he is Choi Chanho from Gudo, just like Lee. Cheyenne seemed to know the grandfather, and Junwon told him that he was Gudo's elite. Yilhak is the highest organization in Seoul, and what made it all happen is the 9 Yilhak elites. Cheyenne just found out that gangsters also have cool stories. It seemed like this was true, as seen from their faces. For Choi, in this era young people are very weak. It will be difficult for Ryu to deal with Gudo, but he won't let Tae-san fall to Gudo. Junwon got out of the car and greeted Grandpa Chanho. They also knew each other well, and that surprised Ryu. Lee talks about the group Tae-san invited to their guests, and Ryu seems to agree. Chanho told the two of them to go first, because he wanted to chat with Junwon. They talked about Tae-san left out the General Assembly. Dokyan got fed up because they were talking about classification. Yisu knew Lee meant that Lee actually had something to say to him. That the General Assembly becomes a place for checking in competition between organizations, so it provides the strength to survive. Then Lee will speak truly to Dokyan now. That he now still needs power. Chanho invited Junwon to join Yilhak, but Junwon chose to stay at Tae-san. He knows that Junwon has a past with Gudo, and he still has a place there. For him Tae-san is his organization, and there are also problems he has to solve. Chanho also regrets this, because there is no longer any hope in Tae-san. Chanho tells Junwon that Tae-san group will be destroyed today. On the other side, someone arrives. He's one of the Gudo elite. Which turned out that the Gudo elite had surrounded Dokyan. Dokyan thinks that this is too much, but for Lee this has to be done. It seemed like he had just realized something. That actually the rat at the General Assembly was Lee from Gudo. Dokyan also told Cheyenne to restrain Lee. Guard Lee didn't accept that. He also punched the guard. The guard fell in one attack. Dokyan was seen getting out of the car. For him just 1 minute was enough to clear all this up. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ryu regretted Lee's actions. The guard was also curious about Gudo's power. For him, they now had many subordinates, and could take advantage of this situation. Ryu immediately hit his subordinates, because the strength of his guard was very weak. In the past, Seoul became one because of the power of Yilhak. Ryu also said that Yilhak had 9 swords, and only 3 people could destroy the Gangbuk area. There are 9 of them, and he only needs 3 people to destroy an area. For Ryu only a stupid people would fight Gudo's 9 swords. But if anyone dares to challenge or attack the 9 swords of Gudo, then what is certain that he is the strongest person in Seoul now? One of the higher-ups was blown away by Yisu's punch. He took a lot of damage because of that. Yisu won't let them all do as they with Tae-san. Now Yisu has come to them, and today Yilhak will collapse. Lee was also curious about the situation outside. But the knife prevented him from seeing. Cheyenne also did his job, holding Lee in the car. He was worried about this situation. But it seemed like Yisu's punch didn't work on him. They also seemed to be joking about this and not taking the fight seriously. He looks fine, but maybe they'll just watch. Suddenly a surprise attack came towards Yisu. But the attack was blocked by him easily. Yisu was attacked from 2 directions, and he tried to avoid the attacks. They immediately grabbed their clothes. With a strong blow, Kwon launched an attack towards Yisu. Further attacks coming him. Kyu-chang managed to kick Yisu so hard that he went flying. But he managed to block with his left hand. Then Jang attacked when Yisu wasn't ready. With fast response and speed, Yisu managed to avoid the fatal incident. To him they were all strong and good at attacking. He thought about defeating the biggest one first. If he manages to take down the big one, then Yisu can beat the rest. He was injured by the hard blow. He helped his friend, and thought he was too old to fight. He immediately got up. They kept attacking, but Yisu was able to avoid it. They also pulled Yisu's clothes and started turning his back and holding his head. Isuan punched firmly towards Yisu. Cheyenne was surprised by the teamwork of the Gudo elite. Currently Dokyeon is facing Gudo's 9 swords. Meanwhile, on the other side, Junwang lost the fight against Chanho. For him, when fighting, Junwang daydreams too much. Cheyenne got out of the car and told Lee to be quiet. For Lee, it's useless to help Dokyeon now. But he won't help his bosses, they just don't know they're dealing with a monster. Lee was confused by Cheyenne's words. The monster's meaning in those words, they will all be defeated in an instant. But a surprise attacks always come when Yisu finishes a turn. It seems like this person is the strongest of the others. They immediately came and attacked. But Cheyenne quickly came to kick them. It seemed to them that the boy wanted to try. He shouldn't have come, but he was curious about Gudo's strength. Then a big fist approached Yisu. But with his fighting technique, he managed to anticipate the attack. They were shocked by the strength of Boss Tayson's fighting techniques. As a result, this man's joints were broken. They did not remain silent and started attacking. An upper leg kick attack approached Yisu. He immediately blocked the kick with his hands. But suddenly while fighting he remembered Guang, who taught him this technique. Strong people have good physique, so they will never fall. At the same time the hands or feet must be pulled and tied so that they do not move. In that practice he felt pain because of the technique. Guang taught Yisu all the fighting techniques. Because of this technique he can defeat his enemies easily. He admits that Dokyeon is a monster. Lee was shocked when he saw them all having difficulty dealing with Dokyeon. He didn't think it would be difficult to face Tae-san. Previously he met someone and said that Dokyeon not good at fighting. And if they're a big problem, Dokyeon's younger brother always intervenes. He was also helpless against Dokyeon. He thought this fight was very senseless, then Dokyeon launched a powerful attack. Suddenly someone told to stop. Those words came from Lee. Dokyeon finally stopped hitting. He hit Dokyeon on the shoulder. Lee knew that what was in front of him was not Baek Dokyeon, but Baek Yisu,